Yo, what's going on, guys? Alter here, back again at you with another YouTube video. Today it's another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and we're finally on release date with one of these decks. Recently, Master Duel released the one and only Enneacraft, otherwise known as I'ma flip my monsters, yo. There's a lot of intriguing strategies that different people are going towards when it comes to this deck, and those are the type of decks I like, and not only are unique but ones that have different strategies when it comes to them. So today I'm going to show you one unique way that I've been playing Enneacraft, and no, it's none of that stun bullcrap. There is one stun card, but it's only because it benefits off our deck regardless. But I will show you some unique ways to play this deck, and it's going to actually include some synchro summoning. You already know I had to find a way to synchro summon, you know me. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alrighty, guys, here we are in the deck profile. Now, as you can see, it's kind of different than your typical Enneacraft deck, and what I basically lowered this down to was Enneacraft doesn't really use the extra deck, right? Like it just doesn't use the extra deck. It's a flip monster strategy, and it locks into face down position monsters. So there is actually no true way to use your extra deck besides, like, obviously we're gonna get into the Fallen and Virtuous cards like that. So Paulie, I know the GOAT Jesse Perez uses Zarborg, I think his name is, the Monarch that tributes your entire extra deck, so you could tribute the opponent's extra deck. All those strategies are well and good, but the best strategy I've had to come up with the extra deck so far, I think, and that I really enjoy, is two strategies: is Xyz summoning and it is synchro summoning, and they actually both come up very useful when it comes to the grind game. Now, obviously, you're locked into face down position monsters, but let's talk about our card that is the key strategy to this, and it's Turbo Tainted Hot Rod GT19. Damn, it's like they plugged in this card's name into AI, and then this is what shot up for them, because it's just a bunch of different stuff for no reason. They could have just called this GT19, you know, or something like that. But anyways, this is a flip tuner, which is also a machine, which has some extra deck synergies. Like if you want to actually search this, you could get Garrett Guy in other certain type of cards. So it being a machine is actually pretty accessible. Nonetheless, that's not why it's here for. It's here for its flip effects. Flip, you can declare a level from 1 to 9. This card becomes the level that level until the end of this turn. This is very key, but we're not going to be using the first effect of the flip most of the time. We're actually going to be using the second effect. After this card has been flipped face up, during any main phase, quick effect, you could target one other face up monster in the field. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon one monster using this card and that target. So this is basically a super poly for synchros, except obviously they can respond to it, but it still has that super poly effect where you can just use either side of the field, so including a enemy's monster, which is absolutely sick. And this is where you're like, okay, well, what if there's Exceeds? What if there's Link? This is where the second effect comes into play. You just use your own monsters, and your own monsters has synergies with the levels to go into specific monsters that you need anyways, right? I mean, I played against Exorcisters and Radiant Typhoon so far, and I've gone into Synchro every single time with the Hot Rod, and it won me the game. So this card itself has been winning me the game. I think I flipped this on Exorcisters, and I went into Barone, and they resigned because I had Barone and flip monsters on the field. Like, they were not winning. So that's why this card is in the, it's really useful. Now, the only part that hurts this is it has a lot of setup, right? But we're playing a flip deck, so that is like a give and take, right? Like, would you rather play a card that has a lot of setup, or add just a bunch of hand traps that are not going to really help you on the long term, especially with this strategy? So if you're playing a flip strategy, in my opinion, you would play cards that require a lot of setup, because you are playing a deck that is requiring setup. You're setting up plays for the next turn. So I feel like Turbo Tainted definitely has a spot on this. And, no pun intended, we could turbo out this card with the next archetype. So they didn't just release Enneacrafts. So Enneacrafts are the flip monster archetype that locks units face down defense. They also release Wake Ups. Wake Ups are decent. You want to play the full package when it comes to Mimighoul, because if you play Wake Up with Mimighoul, it's absolute GG's, bro. It's too much to handle. Like, Wake Up, Mimighoul, Yummy is cooked. Like, it's absolutely cooked. But with this deck, you really can't use any other Wake Up cards other than Kuro, the Searcher, and Mocha, the Flipper. So, because the other cards you're not really gonna be using, and they're not really great for the deck, which are Earl and Makia. So, by the way, if you don't know, they're named after coffees. So, anyways, so Kuro is the Searcher. It searches all these Wake Up cards. So this is, and the way its effect works is you have to reveal it. It's like a Mikonko effect. You have to reveal it, add, and then discard. And most of the time, you're going to discard Kuro itself. You're going to be adding Mocha. And the reason why this is a 2-card combo is if you have Turbo Tainted in hand and any of these 4 cards in hand, this is a Penguin Brave. And what does Penguin Brave do? It's such a sick and unique and techie card. Your opponent cannot target face down defensive position monsters you control. I still am second guessing if I want to add Penguin Soldier. I mean, he's the GOAT. For the second effect of Penguin Brave. If you guys don't know what Penguin Soldier does, when he gets flipped, 2 monsters in the field, return those to the hand. Because this guy can be a brick in my hand. I still don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if I should use him to search. I don't know if they have any other flips. They have, you could target 2 spells. Okay, so you could send back spells instead of monsters. Any other flips? Any other flips? Doesn't really seem like it. Yeah, obviously they got the normals. Yeah, that's the only flip monsters that they got. You either send 2 spells or 2 monsters. And obviously the 2 monster guy is better. Because that's just more universal of an interruption. I don't know, maybe, but maybe in the future. But he is a brick, and I don't really like to run that many bricks in this deck because you need as many resources as possible. Because you might get Joeled, you might get Ashed, right? Because you're not really running a lot of counter hand traps, so you gotta make sure that your 5 hands is actually the hand you're gonna use, and you'll see that a lot in this video. Is my 5 hand is the hand that I all set on the field, right? Anyways, we got Dimension Shifter. Why? Because our cards never go to the graveyard, so there is no need. I mean, there is no need for all the recurrence and all of the stuff. So Dimension Shifter works amazingly with our deck, and it's such a strong card that if your deck can run it, obviously run it. Like, I'm not a fan of stun, but it's one of those floodgating effects that if your deck can run it, it just wins you the game on spot against certain matchups. So why not? I've had a lot of people pass. Like I've had. Enneacraft isn't the greatest going second unless if you have Will in hand, but if you have Dimension Shifter in hand, a lot of decks are passing to you, which is absolutely great. So let's talk about the Enneacraft cards. Now, as you see, there's a lot, and they might overwhelm you. Now, this is really specific to the way how you want to play Enneacraft, because all of them do the same thing. What do I mean by this? So all the level ones, literally all the level ones, they all could be placed in the pendulum. Excavate 3 cards from your deck by paying 900. Your opponent picks 1, you add to the hand. Okay, that's all what the level ones do. And anytime your opponent activates an effect, they could flip and then add an Enneacraft card from your deck to hand. Okay, that's literally every single level one does. So that's to simplify it, because I know there's a lot of paragraphs on the screen, and it could be a lot of work for all these cards. The only effect that the level ones have different is just their flip effect. Okay, so just to mention again, just to not make it confusing, every single level one has the same pendulum effect and has the same counter effect on the opponent's turn. So when your opponent activates a certain effect, this card flips and it adds an Enneacraft card. Cool. If you do it in the pendulum, it's going to excavate 3 cards. Your opponent is going to add 1 to your hand. Cool. Same effect. The only effect that differs is their flip effect. So Your first one is Orgia, which destroys a monster your opponent controls. Really important to have that as a 3-ofs, is your way of removal. So now you see why which one deserves a 3-ofs and which one it deserves a 2-of. Also, its effect is slightly better than the others because this is when your opponent activates a monster effect in hand, which they will do most of the time. Next one we have only 2-of is because that this one activates a card that adds a deck from the hand. Okay, cool. This is the quick effect that we have, and we have 2-ofs, and it banishes a card. This is really good because that means if, let's just say, like, speaking of Exorcisters, if they played the new Revival card, they have to discard 1 for cost, add 2, but then they have to banish a card from their hand as well. So they're actually going neg on their card for a phenomenal card. Add 1, discard, add 2, discard 1. They're adding 2, discarding 2 with this Enneacraft card, which is actually not good. Like, if you think about it, you're adding 2, discarding 2. It's not really that great. Next, we got Exco Enneacraft, Tromaria, and basically, this is when your opponent special summons a monster, which is gonna happen a lot. That's why it's at a 3-of. This one is at a 1-of because is when your opponent activates a card in the graveyard or banishment. That's not really gonna happen a lot. That's why it's a 1-of. This one is a 2-of because this is when your opponent sets a card, which is gonna happen most of the time. Your opponent will set cards. And this will help you out a lot in the mirror too. You'll see when your opponent sets a card on Enneacraft, you can flip this, destroy it, special summon a monster in defense position. Very, very good. So there you go. That's all what the level ones do. That's what we broken down. They all each have different flip effects. So this one destroying 1 monster, this one banish 1 face up, and then this one shuffle up to 3 cards your opponent's choice. And that's why this one is at 1, because this one's kind of garbage. It will only work on decks that need cards in the graveyard. Like, for example, I used this on Fiendsmith, and they couldn't go into their Fiendsmith line because I put it back in the deck. But then, if you think about it, guys, I'm putting Fiendsmith back into their deck. You know? So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, I'm getting rid of them from recurring off the graveyard, but I just put 3 starters into their deck, right? That's the terrible part about this card. That's why it's at 1. So it could be good, but it could be bad at the same time because you're shuffling back starters, you know, or stuff that you don't want. Okay, next, the level 9s, which, if you guys don't know, that's what NEM means. NEM means 9. It's a pun based on 9. You might be noticing we have a lot of 1-ofs, but 1 3-of, and I'll explain why. This guy is your beast. This is where your entire plan revolves around. No matter what, you will special summon this first, and then you will go into your plays. Why? Because this is your Omni Negate. Anytime somebody activates an effect on the field, you can flip this. It will negate, then destroy. On top of it, its flip effect is absolutely insane. It's probably the best flip effect in the game. Change all your opponent's monsters to face down defense positions. That monsters that work cannot change their battle position. So this is gonna come up later, and how Enneacraft gets its win condition. Like, you might be wondering, yeah, like that. Yeah, there's a lot of pendulums, but they're all 100, 1000. How do you get your win condition in this deck? I will show you why, but 3-ofs of this, because this card is absolutely insane. You want it in the hand, and if you don't have it in the hand, you want to search it. Now, next up, we have 1-of the Lion, and the Lion, what it does is basically it also activates to an opponent's effect, and when you do, this is more of your board breaker. It will shuffle up to 3 cards from the field to the hand, right? So, like, this is more of your board breaker that's gonna just send back 3 cards, and it's also absolutely good, but it only will come up in certain situations. That's why we have it at 1-of. Same thing with this one. This is your targeting protect. Like, this is just your end deck targeting protect. So when your opponent targets a monster, you can flip this up, and your opponent cannot target or destroy cards that you control are in your craft anymore. Next, we have the Scorpion, and the Scorpion is actually pretty broken. It activates. Oh, actually, this one is the one that protects. Never mind. Okay, it's the spider that's broken. So the spider, what it does is, if the opponent goes chain link 3 or higher, which happens most of the time, it happens a lot. Quick effect: you can change this to face up and then negate it. opponent cards an effect in the chain and destroying them. That is absolutely wild. Meaning, okay, what does this mean? You could bait an Omni Negate effect on your whale. So basically, your opponent is going to activate an effect on your turn. You will flip whale, and then whale will get negated by your opponent because whale's effect is way too strong. They cannot let whale go off because the flip effect is about to destroy everything the opponent ever worked for. Then that will be chain link 3. You will flip Spia, and then it's GG's because it will negate everything in the chain. Your opponents will also monsters get flipped because you already did well, or you could have done something else. Who knows? But Spia will protect the chain. Insane. So that's why we have them on one of, because we could search them if we want to. This one we absolutely want in our hand. Enneacraft Release is a recycler of your level 1s. So it's really important. After you used up 2 level 1s pendulums, you use Enneacraft Release to set another different one. Like if you used Orgia and Alazonia, then you want to set Tremoria and Oknorilla. And then if not, then you want to set the Streeto Enneacraft, right? You want to just set a different pendulum that you've used so you can excavate more of your deck. This deck needs a lot of resources, a lot of set play. It needs to excavate a lot. So that's what this card is a 3 of here, and that's what it needs to do. And a card that helps it, and it's also a 3 of, is Reverse. What Reverse does is any card that you've already used the effect for, or if you have an Enneacraft card that you really don't need, like for example, if I have a Leon, but I need a whale, shuffle back all those Enneacraft cards, draw cards equal amount to them, which is absolutely broke because you could draw into non-engine like Max C, like Sol and Luna, like Fallen and Virtuous. I have all the time. Super Poly. Like go draw into non-engine plus engine. Insane card. It's basically a free card destruction, but you never really send the cards to the graveyard. They're always gonna go back to your deck. Next, a lot of people run Enneapolis at 2 of, 3 ofs even. You don't need to, because this card right here sets Enneapolis, like not even sets, it places it. So this is 2 Enneapolises technically, and you don't want to be running more than 2 field spells, especially if it's not a starter. It is important for our win condition, but it's not a starter. It's just like in Yummy, guys. You don't want to run more than 2 because there's no need, because it's not a starter, but it's very important for plays that we need to do. Oops, sorry about that. So what does the field spell do? The field spell does a lot. It reshuffles your pendulum guys from the field to the hand. It will also remove all counters, all EC counters from your field, and if you do, your opponent takes 900 damage for each. Now, I haven't gone over EC counters. What are EC counters? This is the deck's win condition, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why it needs a lot of set play. EC counter activates when any flip effect happens on the field. Not just your monsters, your opponent's monsters too. So if your opponent in the mirror, and this happened, I was playing in the mirror, and I went second, and the opponent lost because he kept flipping and activating my field spell because he didn't have the field spell. So any time a card is flipped, your pendulums get an EC counter, and this is where the win condition comes in, ladies and gentlemen. You want to remove as much EC counters as possible and burn your opponent for a game. Now, there's a lot of Enneacraft deck strategies that focus on burning the opponent for game immediately, like right away, as an FTK. I don't like that. Those one is very inconsistent. What you want to do, this is where the extra deck comes in. Set play a lot of set cards, and then get into Enneapolis, burn your opponent for a lot of damage, like 6,000 damage, right? And then after you burn your opponent for 6,000 damage, then you have a lot of level 1s on the field. You could go into Nightingale. Nightingale can attack directly. Yes, it's not a lot of damage, but the important part is it goes into Downward and then Downward into Divine. And that Zeus has 4 materials. That means you could wipe the field twice. It's pretty much GG's from there. And that Zeus obviously can attack for 3,000, so that's your win condition right there. So that's win condition number 1 with Enneapolis. Win condition number 2 with Enneapolis is you continue attacking over and over again with your synchros with Turbo Tainted Hot Rod. You could go either into Melfi's if there's an annoying monster, you could send him back. You could go into Silvera if they somehow manage to flip their monsters, which they can't. But if you want an extra flip effect, Silvera will flip them over and will deal piercing damage. That's the most important part. It's not that she'll flip them over again. She will do piercing damage, and she's a level 6. She's 1 card combo away. Mocha, I mean, excuse me, one 2 card combo away. Mocha plus Turbo Tainted equals Silvera. And it's not that we want to flip our monsters again. It's all those monsters that will flipped will attack and inflict double piercing battle damage. Your opponent lost. And she gains 500 attacks, so she will go over a lot of defenses. You have Black Rose Dragon, so when you're in a pickle and you didn't have Zeus or you didn't have anything else and you want to clear the board, Black Rose Dragon will do just that. It will clear the board. I've used it many times. Sometimes, though, be careful. It will mistime its effect if it's in chain to one of your Enneacraft cards. So be careful, guys. When you flip your Enneacraft cards technically say you could only special summon face down monsters, and if for some reason it mistimes the effect of Black Rose Dragon. So you will have to be slightly careful on this one. You will only have to activate Turbo Tainted as your Black Rose Dragon will miss timing. Obviously, you have Barone, Omni Negate. Like I said, very common to go into because I could turn this into a level 6, and then I could, like, the one I had is I Super Poly the Exorcisters into level 4, flipped this up, declared it at level 6, and went to Barone and won the game, right? Duration is crazy because we're able, let's just say if the opponent has level ace like Mitsurugi, anything like that, we're able to destroy all the monsters he controls or all spells he controls. Absolutely nuts. And we got Snake Eyes, just in case it adds up to a 12, and Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon sends back a monster into the spell and trap zone. Now, one thing I wanted to look for is synchros that have flip effects, and the only useful one I found was obviously Silvera, because Silvera is insane when it comes with flip decks. Even Mimigul uses Silvera to OTK with it. If you ever wondered like how Mimigul has any battle phase power, is because of Silvera. They could go through Silvera through Yummy. But if I go here, I click on Synchro, and I type in on flipped or flip, there isn't really a lot that comes up like in the search. There's nothing. There's only 2 synchro cards that are very common to use that will help us, but the rest in different levels there isn't any. So last card I want to talk about is Sol and Luna. Now this card basically doesn't wait for the opponent to activate our effects. What do I mean by this? Some of our flip effects are very broken, like Turbo Tainted, like Enneacraft, Atori Mar. We might want to activate the flip effects right away. What we could do is book an opponent's monster and then change one of our monsters to face up defense, and then that way it's able to immediately activate the flip effect, and we flipped our other opponent's monster on top of it. Let's just say we want to activate the effect again on our own turn. Let's just say I flipped the Enneacraft Atori Mar already for its effect, but I wanted it face down so I could activate the negate again. This will flip it face down and then flip the opponent's monster face down. So Sol Luna is definitely very important for this deck. I have it at 2 of. You can run it at 3 ofs. 3 ofs, you'll see you drawing Sol Luna a lot twice. That's why I have it at 2 of, because I've been drawing it 2 in hand a lot. You don't need 2 in hand. You only need 1 in hand. Same with Super Poly. When I like just have these board breakers and non-engines, a quick play spells, they always give me 2 in hand. Don't need them. Super Bowl. And then you have the one following the virtuous. I know a lot of people are running 2 or 3. You don't need to. I've seen this in my hand most of the time. And this is just a free removal, obviously, that you could use because you have an extra deck slot. So why not? It's the new removal that they added through the branded package that any deck can use, which is absolutely broken. Alrighty, now this is usually the section where I go into the combos. Guys, there isn't really a combo section of this deck. This is mostly, like I said, what you draw and what you excavate is how you're gonna end up during the end board. It's not really like one line combo or anything that I can show you. It's pretty much what I get off of my hand and what I get off my deck and the way I control the field. These control decks really are not combo heavy, as you can clearly tell. They're more based on set play strategy, right? So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, our opponent set us second. Oh, and we draw Maxi, which is very powerful. He could have Ash depending on what deck he has. It's a 45 hand deck. Oh, it could be I want to reveal that I have the Maxi yet. He discards Imperm. Ultimate Fusion can be scary, guys. It does solo our deck. Because remember, our deck goes in defense position. So on resolution here, I will Maxi because he will go into the link one. Does he have Ash is the question. Yep, he does. So this might be a bit tough, but we do have a few Enneacraft cards in hand, and we could always just draw into Super Poly, and he could play into that. So, ooh. I mean, this is good. I have so many starters. This is not an issue. This is not an issue. I have good starters. He'll probably send back the spell. No, that's incorrect, because what I could do is I could bait with the 2 spells, then activate reverse, send that back into my deck, and then make any plays with my draw 2s. But it will do his Blue Eyes combo, and as he does it, let me explain a couple things because we might lose. So I just want this part in the video anyways. This deck is not really that strong into certain strategies. What do I mean by this? Like, for example, why did I say when he drew Ultimate Fusion, why did I say that that's a bad counter to our deck? Is because if he has the Synchro monster, it's not Synchro, the Ritual monster that Ultimate Fusion goes into, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict double piercing damage to your opponent, which absolutely kills us, absolutely solos us. No chance in hell that we're able to counter this card. And we can't even remove it because your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed. So this card solos our entire deck. If you're wondering what beats Enneacraft, this card alone solos our entire deck. Like 1000%. So it's absolutely correct decision to play it. If you're a Blue Eyes player with this Enneacraft meta, especially when a lot of people are trying them out, to play Chaos Max into your deck. Yeah, it's an extra brick, but it's an instant defeat if you're running into Enneacraft. So as a Blue Eyes player, you definitely want to run that, and he is doing that. He might actually just go into Magia, which is wrong, but it doesn't really matter. I don't have enough starters to beat Magia plus the Synchro. Now, secondly is let's talk about the other strategies that Enneacraft can run. You have Stun. Cool. You can play Stun if you want to, guys. Is it good? Yeah, it's actually good with this strategy. It's just boring, bro. Like, neither you or your opponent is playing the game. That's why I never understood Stun players. This is pretty good. We could just bait out a lot of effects just with this alone. This one has an effect. This does win what? Ooh, this could... Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna activate this and try to pop True Light. Because if he does True Light set, this card will cook him. Okay. Now we could go into Wake Up Hero and all that stuff to bait any effect. It's gonna add Mocha. And really, we could I guess discard this, right? Then we could P scale this. I don't want to put it here. I know that's not an imperm, but this could be Majesty. I wish this was a quick play spell. Like it just like it has the vibe of a quick play spell, but it's not, unfortunately. So you can't really quick play spell save these guys. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. He's just gonna like get the Omni negate. We have just to work on a little bait action. Okay, he negates right away, which is interesting. It does not destroy, so that's what we kind of not. Do we want to bring back 2 or 3? I think we just want to bring back the 1 and risk it. So let's do that. This is pretty good. Who next to get this? Just do that. I like it. It's pretty decent. Ooh, the impermanence is crazy. See, if this was another level 1 in hand, we could have gone into Zeus here, which kind of sucks that we can't. But and this doesn't really have any flipped up effects, so we're kind of cooked. But oh well. We tried. That was a good try. That was a good try, right, guys? But if we had another level 1 here, I would have just normal summoned it, gone into Lurlisk, attacked, set up Zeus wipe immediately on my own turn. And then once he does his wombo combo, wipe again on his own turn. So he would have actually absolutely lost if we just had one extra Enneacraft, and that's what it came down to. So all right, let's lock in. We got Scent going first, so Scent going first is an understatement. Draw phase, we will Shifter, no question about it. This is the cool thing about this deck. Full Wallows doesn't hurt us at all. Maxi sort of does, but it's fine. He thinks I will resign, but I really don't give a damn. So we will. First things first. I forgot what this does. We should just P skill first, yeah. Okay, so he also on top of it has Ash. That's insane. Your opponent draws max C for walls Ash against you. Which what are you doing? You know? Oh, I almost said it. Oh my god, I almost had a effing heart attack. There's so many buttons around it. You know, sometimes you will misclick, so be careful, guys. He does have the Ash. He is waiting on the Ash. I will, however, just add these because I already have Rebirth in hand, but this could be the other card he's gonna Ash. So, which is fine, sort of. Oh, he doesn't want to Ash this. Okay, well, we're gonna return this, and this. Actually, I'll draw 3. Okay, I didn't really draw anything great. So I already used this effect. Kind of sucks. All right. I didn't mean to special summon. I really did not. Oh my god. Okay, we'll give him a draw. See, I'm telling you, there's so many buttons. So many buttons, but let's activate P-Scale. We will add Whale. And then we'll do Enneacraft release. Should we do this? Yeah, I think we do that, right? And then these. So we don't need the others per se. Oh, okay, so we hit that, which is fine. So we will special summon all of these. I will place. I haven't used this already, right? Yeah, no. Cool. Again, that doesn't really matter for Wallace Maxi. It don't really matter that much. Again, I will probably just get the field spell or get a whale. So we have 2 chances of a hidden field spell or whale. We hit field spell. And this is, we have a chance now to reorganize our P skills, which we will do. So now we will special summon whichever effect is good. This one will destroy. So this one for sure. This one for sure as well. So this one probably will go P-Scale. Yeah. This one will go P-Scale and this one will go P-Scale. Okay. So these two and them. That's the cool thing about the field spell is like if you use any cards initially as the P skills, they don't gotta be stuck as the P skill. You could reset them back to your hand, then look around your hand, which effect you want to use. Those ones you could set, and then you could leave 2 for the P skill for the burn. Okay, we do give him draw 4, but I mean we have to, otherwise we resign. So it's like, what's the point? You know. We had to do all of this. So the Wake Up Curo, basically how it works, it's basically it's a Soul and Luna monster quick effect. So think of, we have a monster Soul and Luna and a spell Soul and Luna. That's why we don't really need a lot, because Curo can do that and then this can do that. Oh, that's absolutely phenomenal. That's so funny. That's so funny. He's like Dragotail. Let's see if you can play through it. Through Shifter and through a whole Enneacraft board. That's absolutely fine. We don't really need to add anything. We're gonna use the flip effect, of course, to destroy Arthalion. Or whoever he summons. And he can't target, so... The stage music, kind of fire. Yeah, I didn't. Let me know in the comments down below. What stage should I use for Enneacraft? Because I actually could not find a stage that would fit it. So here we go. Arthalion. Does Arthalion target? I forgot. Yeah, he has to target. So he can't do this. That's so funny. That's so funny. What the? Wait, this one doesn't flip face up? Nah. Thank you. I was about to say, woo. I'm like, that's offensive, sir. I'm like, that's offensive. Of course, banish a card. Why is that even an option? Of course I want to banish a card. The hell? Pack him up. Why was there an option to say, yo, do you want to banish a card from his hand? Of course I want to banish a card from his hand. Why is that even an option to say yes or no, game? Like, oh, what? But there you go. It's just that Pyro simply, like, he maxied me. He fuwa'd on top of it. Drew into Ash. Drew into probably 5 mana, right? He drew in all of these incredible resources, but because my deck can just chill, it doesn't really need to waste a lot of noise, a lot of energy. We excavated pretty good, and yeah, we hit him where he hurts. Arthalion cannot target us, and his deck is prone to banish effects, which obviously he needs them in the graveyard. But since we shifted, there was nothing he could really do. We forced him to immediately use his hand traps because he has to on shifter, and then afterwards he. Oh, he might have had 5 mana actually, but he just couldn't use it because it was on our turn. So there you go, bro. I'm telling you. Draw phase shifter, shuts off the 5 mana. He immediately maxied, and he lost on maxing. Incredible. You know, this deck is really strong. All right, let's put one more. Alrighty, now that was again still more of the pure strategy. Ooh, draw phase shifter again is deadly, guys. It's deadly. I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely deadly. I could have called by or cross out. Ooh, he doesn't have anything. It's very deadly. Oh, he plays Axis Sister anyway. That's so funny. Okay, fair play, fair do. Okay, we do not lose to Exorcisters because again, we don't move stuff out of the graveyard, but him banishing our stuff will be pretty annoying. Now again, Exorcister is one of those only decks that could play under Shifter. That's kind of their thing. But it's gonna go Carmel, yeah. So Caramel is gonna add a spell, which will probably just be their trap, and then they'll pass. He plays Aratama to add Hime though, which is very interesting. This is gonna add an Exorcister. I've always wanted to come back to Exorcisters, but again, it's just a lock for me, guys. Like you're like, oh, but Enneacraft locks, but it's like there's a lot in going to the archetype, you know. So this one, yeah, when it activates a monster effect in hand. Could have been good going first, not second. But we could use it later for the grind game. I will probably okay, I'll just P-scale this first. My cat came through. So I gotta give it scratches. I don't know why he didn't banish it right away. He should have banished it right away. Ooh, the ash is deadly. The ash is absolutely deadly. Okay. All right, let's continue with it. He had an ashen hand on top of it. Okay. I am going to this. He will banish it, so it will not activate. Smart. And that's the only weakness in this matchup is we are pendulums, so. And he will go into Macallus here. Macallus is pretty much cooked. We have nothing going on other than I'll activate this. Just banishing my cards as well as his. Please hit the pendulum. So we only actually have one field. Yeah, damn. That's unlucky. Just sucks to suck, guys, but hey. What can you do? I will activate this. And then I will activate this. Just play the delay strategy, baby. Here we go. End phase. You never know what happens. We do have 2 sets, so. Yeah, but we're still cooked. Yeah, there's no way we could actively win this. So it is what it is. We shall surrender. And also that's because it's the only time I got for today's video, unfortunately. So I will just have to surrender on the fact that we went second, which sucks. But that is the biggest weakness is for Enneacraft. If they droll you and if you go second, it's pretty much over, man. You could play through certain boards, but oh, look at my credit, bro. He's so good. Sorry, Kitty Cat is here. Actually, you want a cameo? Hmm? You want a cameo? He hates being picked up all the time. Stop. Nothing will happen to you. Relax. He always hates getting picked up. Like, I get it. It's like, come on, man. Look at the camera. Look at there. Look at the camera, man. Yeah, man. Look at that. Say hi to these people. Yeah. Okay, when he licks his tongue, he's like, get me down. That's a sign that he's angry. He's one of those cats that don't like to get picked up. I don't know why. I mean, some cats don't, to be fair, but they don't like the gravity feeling. I get it. Anyways, that was Enneacraft. Probably more videos on it later, as soon as I lock down the strategy that I'm trying to do, especially with the quick synchro. I'm trying to figure out a way to probably maybe, like, because we drew turbo tainted there, maybe like to do it quick effect right away. I'll probably find a way to that, because you already know I cook with my decks. You already know that. But if you enjoyed watching today's video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.